Welcome in, everyone, and my name is Regan. This is Big Daemon. Fresh shaves, new albums, you know the drill. Like and subscribe if you want album reviews. And today we'll be covering Rob Zombie, The Great Satan. And spoiler alert for the rest of the review, but bands need to stop putting great in their album name if it's going to be average at best. This is the mediocre Satan for sure. It sounds exactly like Rob Zombie, so I'm not going to get too much into the basics. I mean, Rob Zombie's sound has been done to the point of parody, so we won't dwell on it. We'll get more into the intricacies of it. Now, if you've been following Rob Zombie's career, and I have been, I like Rob Zombie, his last 3 albums have all been kind of this, a little bit like psychedelic, 60s, 70s vibe to it all. It's very bright and colourful. It's almost a step away from, the horror movie motif. That is still definitely there underneath it all, but, even you look at the album covers, getting ready for the tongue twister, Venomous Rat Regeneration Vendor, or the Electric Warlock Acid Witch Satanic Orgy Celebration Dispenser. They're very bright album covers, and then the latest one being the Lunar Injection Kool-Aid Eclipse Conspiracy. A little bit toned down on the colours, but it's still definitely bright. So that is to say that, that's kind of done now. You look at the album cover for The Great Satan, and it's literally in black and white. All the colour has been stripped out of it. And that's been reflected in the music too. It's a bit more serious, a bit more darker. It's got a bit of that grindhouse aesthetic back into it, especially with like the little horror movie trailer bites. Actually, I love those in the live setting. Just that little, to hear the narrator's voice over the speakers, and it clues you into what the next song is going to be and gets you pumped up. The one for Heathen Days on this album is really good, and I do hope I get to see it live, although Rob Zombie seems to have forgotten about Australia. But yeah, it's a bit more serious, it's a bit more dark. It's still got a lot of what I like in Rob Zombie in it, but it's just lost that whimsy, and that's not unprecedented when you look at his back catalogue. And indeed, I think looking at his back catalogue, it's exactly what Rob's done on this one. As it goes on, you got these electronic elements coming back into it that kind of really bring the industrial feeling back. I'd say it's definitely not a White Zombie album, but it's certainly a step back towards White Zombie. Something that would be more suited to earlier in his Rob Zombie discography. I could see this coming out around the same era of, say, Sinister Urge, Educated Horses, the early 2000s. And even as a big fan of the last 3 albums, and I like that kind of, dark hippie motif to it all, this is refreshing. I could have easily maintained trajectory, and I would have been very happy, but it is refreshing to see this darker turn, just because it is different. And it's not necessarily better, but it's different. I was a little worried in the lead up to the release. I was really unimpressed by the 3 singles that they put out. But once I've got it, the whole album as a package, I think they actually work pretty well in the context of it. And much like the 3 singles work in the context of the album, I think the album works pretty well in the context of the discography. As I said earlier, all your traditional zombie motifs are there. The guitar tone hasn't changed too much over the years. Like I said, it's got those horror movie samples in it. And it's filled with classic Rob Zombie lyrics, which by that I mean utter nonsense, but it sounds badass. It does feature some shorter song lengths. There's a couple of 2-minute-ish ones. And I'm not gonna lie, those shorter songs, especially Punks and Demons, which was the first single, feels a bit undercooked. It has a great deal of spectacle in it, like that dark carnival ringmaster, but overall, definitely didn't even leave me wanting, it just left me disappointed. As the name implies, it's got a fair bit of punk influence, which can be felt throughout the entire album with the riffs and the shorter songs, especially songs like Black Scorpion, just pulling over 90 seconds long. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean that the longer songs are all bangers. The ones like Wolfman, they feel really overcooked and they drag on. But hey, even the shorter songs like Revolution sometimes drags on as well. It's all just uninspired and kind of boring Rob Zombie riffs that feel played out at this point. Other classic Rob Zombie motifs are in there as well. You got song titles that would make really good gamer tags or very cringe DeviantArt account names. Gotta have one of those. On this album we've got Sir Lord Acid Wolfman. So if you see anyone in Halo with that name killing you, it's probably me. As with all things in life, there's someone on the internet who likes it. I've seen a lot of discourse around this album, and a lot of fans, especially older fans, are approving of this change, which I've seen in comments all over the internet. And hey, I can accept it too. I just think they haven't done it to their usual standard. I think the album has a lot of ups and downs. It mixes up his sound, and it really let me down. On repeat listens, it's just been less and less impressive, and really just kind of has me getting about halfway through and then going and picking another Rob Zombie album to put on and be like, yeah, I love this sound. How about I listen to it on one of the albums that has good songs? I think that sums it up well. It's undeniably Rob Zombie, but it's just not particularly memorable at all. Goes through the motions, fills 39 minutes of your life. There's nothing so bad that you'd skip the song, but you probably wouldn't ever turn this album on and be like, oh man, I really wanted to listen to Black Rat Coffin today. That's what I need. You know, when you get that Rob Zombie itch, you're gonna go to the classics, and this ain't it. It's just an album full of mid-tier songs that would be filler on any of his other albums. Not bad overall, but certainly on the weaker end of his discography, and honestly, after this album cycle and he's done touring it, I could see none of these songs ever getting played live again. I think this would be a largely forgotten album in the discography of Rob Zombie at the end of the day. So as I said at the start, the great Satan, good Satan at best, average Satan. But you know who is great. You, for watching up to this point. Thank you for tuning in. Like and subscribe, share it with a Rob Zombie fan, share it with someone who hates Rob Zombie. Let them know that their hatred is justified on this one. And most importantly, keep well, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.